Good morning. It's Tuesday morning, and on Tuesday morning we start a new series. And I thought what we would do for the balance of Lent, I think there are enough parables to take us from now till Holy Week. Um, so today I'm just going to fluff it a little bit. What's a parable? A parable is a symbolic sort of story, almost like a joke. If you tell a joke, and you have to explain why it's funny, then it's not a good joke, or you don't have the right audience for your joke, perhaps. So Jesus tells parables. And if he has to explain them, that's usually because the disciples are kind of dense, or the gospel writers wanted to make sure that the church preserved a certain way of reading the parables, perhaps. But parables don't really need to be explained, and as soon as you find yourself starting to explain them, they're lost. That said, I'm going to explain some parables during this next couple of weeks, few weeks, and we'll see how we'll just see how that goes. There are lots of parables. Some are just quips, one-line things, and some are quite elaborate. Some of them, we tell them as though they really happened, like stories. Jesus tells the story of the Good Samaritan or the story of the prodigal son, and we all know what that means, but we tend to think of some of those as sort of historical, like somebody Jesus knew did this. Other times he says something cryptic, and we go, oh, that must be a parable, but we really don't know what it refers to or what it means. So we'll have to do a little digging into the ancient Near Eastern culture and the ancient Near Eastern world. These are people who were very much in touch with the land. They knew plants and what grew when. They were very in touch with the animal world. They lived with animals, sheep and goats and cows and stuff that they raised for food or the milk or stuff. They were closer to life and death than we are. They didn't have big fancy hospitals where somebody went off and then was never seen again because they died. They did all their living and dying at home and surrounded by family. So they were in touch with life and death in a way that we might not be. They had they had a more organic relationship with the land and the animals and with the farming and all that goes with that, and they were able to they were able to understand when Jesus would say something about a man had two sheep. Yeah, I've got two sheep. Keep talking. When Jesus would say something about, the sower went out to sow. Well, they've all done that, so they know what he means when you throw the seed everywhere and hope some of it grows, because of the kind of farming they did. They didn't do farming like we do with highly processed seeds that are engineered, bioengineered or whatever for a certain growing season and a certain kind of weather and all of that, technical stuff. They just threw the seed out there to see what would happen. And it's kind of what Jesus did. He threw the word out there to see what would happen. And some people got the parables and followed him, and some people thought, hey, he's crazy. So we'll do some parables. I got to organize that a little bit and get them in order, figure out what structure we're going to use, and then we'll see what comes of it, and kind of be making it up as we go along a little bit. I got a couple of resources to help, and so be parabolic, my friends. Just look at the world, but see the symbolism that stands behind a lot of things, because it's still, in some ways, the symbolism is still there. We have a different world, but we still look at it through goggles that are constructed in various ways by our education, by our background, by our history. Our goggles are that help us see and not see some things in the world. And so sometimes we learn something about the world we live in, and we're like, wow, I never knew that. Well, it's been right there in front of you all these years, but you're just now getting it. So our world has some parables in it, and maybe we'll have a chance to reflect on some of those too. So stay with us, and we will see you tomorrow morning. Have a great day.